All right, Shalom. First of all, before I start, I want to give infinite honor, praise, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakak Wadash. Double honors to the apostles at Great Millstone, who rule well, and salutations to you brothers all across the four corners of the earth, pushing out this word in sincerity and in faith. So Esau is starting to he's starting to really think about this thing, man. This is out of NBC News. The doomsday scenario. Here's what happens if the shutdown drags on. Economists warn that a catastrophe is in the making if the partial government closure continues for weeks or months. Hey, and your boy DJ Trump, man, he said it could go on for years. I'm gonna see if this video works or not. Slovakia. Yeah, it is not gonna play. But anywho, the country would face an economic hellscape. So damn, they say it's gonna be hell out here, man. If the government shutdown lasts months or even years, as the president had suggested it might, experts tell NBC News, the doomsday scenario might be unlikely. The longest the federal government has ever shut down is 21 days, a record that will fall if the current closure lasts until Saturday. But it is chilling. We'll be in no man's land, Mark Zandi, chief economist at Moody's Analytics, told NBC News. If the worst were to happen, experts say the devastating impact would be widespread. So 38 million low-income Americans lose food stamps, which you Israelites for the most part. 6 million face an uncertain timetable for collecting tax refunds, which they may or may not come. 2 million without rental assistance and facing possible eviction. Now, hey man, when HUD shut off, what you gonna do? It says 800,000 paycheckless federal employees plunged into dire financial straits. Shuttered parks and museums while overstressed airports cause tourism to tank. Federal court system slows to a crawl. Disaster relief money doesn't get to storm-ravaged areas. Lapsed FDA and EPA inspections lead to dangerous outbreaks. Private companies looking to go public are stuck in limbo. And the stock market plummets, which, of course, the Edomites, man, are making money hand over foot in the stock market. The end isn't near yet. Oh. But if the standoff persists, talks blew up at the White House on Wednesday, and Congress and President DJ Trump can't reach a deal on raising the debt ceiling in a few months, it's game over. Game over. Game over, Esau. You'll have a pretty severe recession, Zandy said, adding that given the trade war with China and Brexit looming, you could start seeing some pretty dark scenarios worldwide. Okay, it says by the end of February, the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, or SNAP, run by the Department of Agriculture, could be out of funding, meaning almost 40 million low-income Americans could find themselves struggling to pay for food. All right? So all you people that believe that the government was always going to provide this service, now you're going to be looking stupid. It says the Department of Housing and Urban Development, meanwhile, has already seen 1,150 contracts with private landlords housing low-income tenants lapse. So 1,150 people are already out of a place. It says another 500 will expire by the end of this month, and another 550 by the end of February, the agency says. The funding for rental assistance for millions of tenants could be at risk as soon as next month. The near-term impact is people getting evicted, having their heat turned off, and not having enough food. Which all that is brought upon by the Heavenly Father, man. For us turning against our heavenly power, and feeding into our own lusts, man. Believing in that Esau is God, and the rest of it, because we all thought, that this government is gonna keep going, which the government of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai is gonna take place, man. It says drawn out over time, that could amount to a sizable hit on the GDP. Loss of the SNAP benefits could mean $60 billion less in direct spending a year and indirect spending of another $48 billion, which could shave a full percentage point off the country's economic growth. Others might find themselves with less money in their pockets, aka no money. Because a lot of these people who are on SNAP and a lot of these people who are on HUD, they don't work. And it says the IRS has said it won't be able. And by the way, a lot of these so-called white people, these Edomites, are some of the main collectors of SNAP and HUD, man. It says the IRS has said it won't be able to pay tax refunds during the shutdown, although the Office of Management and Budget said on Monday that it would. Less than 10,000 workers, about 12% of the IRS staff, are working during the shutdown. The agency is coming up with a plan to call back more employees, but they'll face an avalanche of backed up work. By February 2nd of last year, the agency had already received over 800 million returns and processed 6.1 million refunds, man. So even if they do get back into the groove of things, it's going to take forever to do them refunds, man. So all you people with all your kids, man, you thought that the government was going to break you off something. Now you looking stupid. It says here, the people who are waiting on those refunds could face some real consequences. Senior U.S. economist at Capital Economics. All right. Then, of course, we're talking about the 800,000 government employees, which are getting paid, you know, even though about half of them still have to work. So you working for free. Workers are going to start walking out and find better paying jobs, which that's a lie too. Because, hey, man, hey, the so-called government has some of the best paying jobs, quote unquote, in America. It says if they don't, some will be in danger of not being able to pay their rents or mortgages and losing their homes, creating a drag on the economy. Yeah, because the same people who got these houses and these mortgages, they were all banking on the fact that they would have that job forever, man. Which the Lord's doings, man, change like the wind, man. So one day you could be good, and the next minute you could be in a lower state. Then you could be back to good, man. You can't put your trust in the government. You got to put your trust in Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai, Ba'Shem Rakak Wadash. All right, and it says no shows by airport workers, including TSA agents and air traffic controllers, would mean delays and canceled flights, hurting business dealings and tourism, which is good, man, because this is just furthering the bringing down of this nation, man, which is a good thing. It says tourism would also continue to fall at national parks, a third of which were closed when the shutdown went into effect. Others were kept open, but without staffing, human waste has piled up in bathrooms and along popular trails. A lot of these Edomites go out to these trails, man. Jake is too busy working his ass off day in and day out to go out to a trail. You know what I mean? So it's mostly you Edomites that aren't going to have your clean conditions, man. And you're going to have to understand what it feels like to press the toilet, to flush, and the toilet don't flush. For the first time ever, some of you so-called white people are going to turn on your shower and no water's going to come out. And Barak Thiyah Ba'Shem Yahushai for that, man. Because this is not no game. Hey, me personally, I pray that this government shuts down permanently. And it says, So also the FDA, right, has already stopped most food inspections. So a lot of the food that you eat is gonna get and man, it's gonna be really fucking with people, man. People are gonna be eating E. coli lettuce, which you know you got to pray to the Lord that He doesn't poison your food, because our food is already poisoned. You know, this food should have been killed us, but the Lord has allowed His men to stay up, to stay erect. You know. And it says areas that have already been affected by hurricanes and storms are facing additional problems because of the shutdown. And emergency recovery funds reportedly tied up in a bureaucratic red tape because, yeah, they can't decide what to spend on what. It says it seems unimaginable, yeah, in which Esau never imagined his downfall, right? And it says, but if the impasse continues into October, more vital federal agencies will be forced to shut down and new dangers would loom. Among the agencies that would turn their lights off is the Department of Health and Human Services and the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, which is the CDC, Salakia, based out of Atlanta, Georgia, man. Hey, and once that shuts down, oh, man, it's going to be all sorts of things popping, man. A more immediate worry, the federal court system will run out of money by January 18th and will have to cut back operations. The longer the shutdown goes on, the more likely it is to affect the stock market, experts said. So yeah, man, let's just... Workers are going to start walking out, he said. People will take to the streets. Yeah, man, and primarily it's going to be Jake, because you Jakes that thought that the government was going to provide you everything you need, you're going to be upset by that, man. You got your quote-unquote wife and your kids. You got a spanking brand new mortgage. And you thought that everything was going to be all gravy. You just show up to work, do what you got to do, and go home. No, man. No. That's not how this works. Putting your trust in Babylon is a fool's bet, man. So this is the book of... It's not showing me. This is the book of Ezekiel, chapter 24, verse 1. Again, in the 9th year, in the 10th month, in the 10th day of the month, the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, Son of man, write thee the name of the day, even of this day. The king of Babylon set himself against Jerusalem this same day. And utter a parable unto the rebellious house, and say unto them, Thus saith the Lord Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai, set on a pot, set it on, and also pour water into it. Gather the pieces thereof into it, even every good piece and thigh and the shoulder. Fill it with the choice bones. Take the choice of the flock, and burn also the bones under it, and make it boil well, and let them seethe the bones of it therein. Wherefore, thus saith the Lord Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai, woe to the bloody city, which is America, to the pot whose scum is therein, and the scum is you other nations, man, and whose scum is not gone out of it. So you continue to stay here and add to the wickedness and the iniquity of this place, right? And it says, bring it out piece by piece, let no lot fall upon it. For her blood is in the midst of her. She is set upon the top of a rock. She poured it not upon the ground, to cover it with dust, that it might cause fury to come up to take vengeance. I have set her blood upon the top of a rock, that it should not be covered. Thus saith the Lord Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai, woe to the bloody city. I will even make the pile for the fire great, and through those nuclear missiles. Heap on wood, right? Which is wood is you other nations, man, who are going to get burned up. And chiefly you Edomites. It says, kindle the fire, consume the flesh, and spice it well. Let the bones be burned. Then set it upon Salakia. Then set it empty upon the coals thereof, and the brass of it may be hot, and may burn. And that the filthiness of it may be molten in it, that the scum of it may be consumed. Yeah, you other nations, and chiefly you Edomites. She hath wearied herself with lies. So all the lies that you said, God bless America, America is great. We're spreading democracy, right? Jesus is a so-called white man, so on and so forth, right? Those are lies. And her great scum went not forth out of her. Her scum shall be in the fire. So even until the day of the Lord comes, you still going to be fucking lying, man. It's not going to be like the Lord comes and all of a sudden Esau is going to turn his ways. No. And it says, in thy filthiness is lewdness. Yeah, because the so-called white man is so fucking lewd, man. Just with the way he talks, the way he walks, the way he acts. You know what I mean? Everything is a big fucking joke to Esau till these missiles pop out, man. And when these missiles pop up, these missiles are going to show out, man. Because I have purged thee, and thou wast not purged, thou shalt not be purged from thy filthiness any more, till I have caused my fury to rest upon thee, and that fury of those nukes. It says, I, the Lord, have spoken it. It shall come to pass, and I will do it. So the Lord is going to make it happen, man. It says, I will not go back, neither will I spare. So it's not like the Lord is going to say, oh, I'm going to destroy Esau. Didn't change his mind. No, the Lord is going to destroy Esau and you heathens, man. Thus saith the Lord. It says, neither will I spare, neither will I repent. According to thy ways and according to thy doings shall they judge thee, saith the Lord, Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai. And also the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, Son of man, I'll do these last three. Son of man, behold, I take away from thee the desire of thine eyes with a stroke. Yeah, because a lot of the men of the Lord, we wanted to, maybe play football. We maybe wanted to go to college. We maybe wanted to study economics. You know what I mean? We may have wanted to deal with certain women that are wicked. We may have wanted a woman who already had a man. You know what I mean? But the Lord takes that away from you when He gives you the fear of Yahweh Shem Yahushai, man, to guide you. He takes all the desire He takes away from you, man, and He gives you the desire of His heart. You know what I mean? Through Yahweh Shai HaMashiach, Salakia. And it says, yet neither shalt thou mourn nor weep, neither shall thy tears run down. You know what I mean? We're not going to be upset about it. We're not going to, be sad that we never got to obtain the Babylonian benefits. Oh man, and that might be the name of this video. Babylonian benefits, man, coming to an end. And it says, forbear to cry, make no mourning for the dead. So really don't worry about these 2/3, man. Bind the tire of thine head upon thee, and put on thy shoes upon thy feet. So get ready, right? And cover not thy lips, and eat not the bread of men. So don't go to these churches, and don't cover your mouth, right? Speak the words of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. Here's the last verse. So I spake unto the people in the morning, and at even my wife died. And I did in the morning as I was commanded. So, the Lord is going to cause you to do His will, He spake unto His people in the morning. You know what I mean? And that morning is the chief time, man. And at even my wife died. So you can see death all around, man. Because Israel was supposed to be Yahweh's bride, man. We were supposed to be His wife, and we turned away from Him, So, but the men of the Lord, right, are going to be caught in the morning, right? We're going to do as He's commanded us, and for that we're going to get, we're going to get things beyond, your earthly eyes could ever imagine, and that's the hope, man. And we are a prisoner of that hope that the things that are said are true, in which they are. So with that, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, or Akakwadash, and Shalom to the sincere and hopeful elect.